Hello and welcome, everyone. It's so great to have you all here. Today is Friday, February 9th. My name is Naeva Flory, and I've had the honor to be on the Million Mom Movement Council for almost 5 years now, and it's been a great honor to get to serve here, share knowledge, and present to you all. And I'm joined here today by my council members, Sherry Picard and Allison Jade. And her partner, Jared, is here with us as well today as our bonus council member. And it is our honor to just come and bring to you this beautiful subject about healthy weight, how to maintain healthy weight, how to create healthy weight loss without dieting, and really how to just take care of our health on the optimal level. And it really is so important that we fuel ourselves properly so that way our body can do its job to maintain a healthy weight. That's really the base of it, is getting proper nutrition on a daily basis so that way we can, thrive and our body can do its job to stay healthy. And we have such incredible information to share today, some great testimonials, but I would love to call on my friend Melody and see if she would be willing to share our pledge with us today. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that up for you, Melody, and you can read it off of our screen.
Hi, everyone. My name is Melody. This is the Million Mom Movement Pledge. I pledge to defend the health of myself and my family. I pledge to choose organic foods that are minimally processed and free of man-made ingredients. I pledge to read labels and educate myself on all aspects of clean living. I understand that my actions today will positively impact the health and environment of the future generations. I am committed to sharing this movement of many. I am the Million Mom Movement. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Melody. And you'll be getting to hear her story in just a little while. But before we go there, I'd love to ask Sherry to share our In the News piece today.
Thank you, Naeva, and thank you, Melody, for reading our pledge. So, okay. Everybody see that? Okay. So the first article that we found was essentially 13 steps for weight loss, which we thought was appropriate because we're all about steps. We're all about trying to make it as simple as possible, but effective as possible. And we really thought that this article highlighted that very easily. So here are essentially 13 steps that will help you with weight loss. So real weight loss comes when you're not at war with your body. That's so important. No more restriction or deprivation. Instead, you will be lovingly convincing your body the war is over and gently encouraging it to burn fat naturally and effortlessly. So here is exactly how to do that. So number one, just eat real food, Jeff. I really like that. I think I'll be borrowing it in the future. Most people are overfed and undernourished. We know this, meaning that they eat a lot, but not the right types of foods to provide them with the nutrition their cells need to function optimally. So just eat real food your grandmother would recognize and keep it simple. Stick to the basics of a healthy meal: protein, plenty of non-starchy vegetables, whole food carbohydrates from root vegetables or fruit, and some healthy fat. Remove inflammatory foods as much as possible: sugar, gluten, dairy, soy, hydrogenated fats, artificial sweeteners, etc. We know this. We want to be eating foods that are as close to nature as possible. That's what I'm always telling clients who come to me for weight loss, but really just for anything. It's one of the basics to creating a healthier lifestyle. So number two is stay hydrated. Water is the elixir of life, and drinking enough of it, about 8 glasses a day, helps with every aspect of your life, including weight loss. Oftentimes, people can mistake dehydration for hunger, so you feel like you want a snack, when really you just need a really tall glass of H2O. Staying hydrated flushes toxins, it prevents constipation, it reduces appetite, and can even increase metabolic rate. Number three is eat slowly and mindfully. Mindful eating lowers cortisol levels and reverses the metabolic patterns of storing belly fat. When it's time to eat a meal, put away your phone, close your computer, turn off the TV, and sit at a table distraction-free. With your food in front of you, take 3 deep breaths in and out through your nose. put a one. I'm just curious. Put a one in the comment if anybody, if anyone out there does this. Like, do any of you do? Because I mean, I understand the importance of mindful eating, but I can't say that I do all of it. I mean, I definitely don't take my phone to the table. I don't have the TV on. We sit as a family, you know, we have conversation, but to say that I take 3 deep breaths and really vision my food, I don't do that. So I'm curious if anybody does do that, but I absolutely understand why it could be so important, because when you're eating your food, you want to be in a calm state, right? Because that's how everything, your digestion is going to work optimally for you. If you're stressed, if you're just trying to plow through a meal to get to the next task that you're going to do, which is probably more like how most of us do eat, at least, you know, during the day, then that's where we run into problems, right? And the body's in a fight or flight mode. And so it tends to hold on to the calories that you're eating rather than use them as fuel that you get to burn off throughout the rest of your day. So eat slowly, chewing each bite at least 30 times and experience the taste, the textures, and the aromas of your meals. It takes 20 minutes for your brain to register that you are full. 20 minutes. The practice of slow, mindful eating often results in eating less food because you're not wolfing down your plate and running back for seconds or thirds. And number 4 is to eat 3 meals a day and try to reduce snacking. So it's an interesting theory that she has here, and I have to say that I do agree. The 3 square meals a day approach trains our bodies to burn fat effectively. Not grazing snacking between meals will provide a natural fast that encourages fat metabolism. Why would your body tap into its fat stores for energy if you're providing it with a hit of glucose every hour or two? It won't. If this is new to you, start with 4 meals a day and work your way down from there. Make lunch the largest, most satisfying meal of the day and have a small early dinner. So number 5, pay attention to food timing. We hear a lot about what we should be eating, but we don't often focus on when is optimal times to eat. And that's going to be different from body to body, from person to person. However, they do say that there's an average that you can aim for. So eating according to your body's natural rhythm is crucial for weight loss. Your digestive fire is at its peak between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. So eating a big healthy lunch during that time is most efficient for digestion and assimilation of nutrients. Our bodies love routine, so aim to eat at roughly the same time every day. Let's say breakfast at 8, lunch at 1, and then a dinner at 6 p.m. As a digestive fire is weak in the evening, try to stop eating by 7 p.m. ideally, or 8 p.m. at the very latest. Fasting for at least 12 hours between your dinner and then your breakfast the next morning also helps to burn fat. Fasting promotes the secretion of human growth hormone, optimizing muscle building and normalizing insulin sensitivity. And the thing with fasting, a lot of people have jumped on the intermittent fasting, but you have to be careful with that. So for a lot of people, especially women, it can really mess with your hormones. So you have to learn how to do it very specifically for your own body type. And I like this article's way of suggesting that we focus more on natural times of fasting, right? In between your meals, so your body gets a break, and then overnight, rather than, you know, not eating, let's say, for long periods of time during the day and kind of messing around with your eating schedule. So 6 is move after every meal. So gentle activity after a meal will mobilize the glucose you just ate to be burned as fuel instead of stored. So walk around the block, climb some stairs in your building, or anything else that's low impact. That's the key. It doesn't have to be a high impact after every meal. Just getting your body moving is going to help your body burn those calories. Number 7, eat prebiotic rich food. So prebiotic food enhances short chain fatty acids, acid production in the gut. So SCFAs increase gut mobility, which reduces the amount of calories your body extracts from food. So eat rich food in prebiotic fiber, such as jicama, asparagus, Jerusalem artichoke, dandelion greens, garlic, and onions. These delicious foods convince your body that it's not in starvation mode and doesn't have to scavenge as many calories from your meals. And number 8 is nurture your good food bugs. So this is absolutely along our lines of conversation. Beneficial gut microbes are critical for weight loss. Supporting your microbiome frees you of constant hunger, cravings, and feeling that your metabolism is out of control. And overgrowth of the wrong kind of bacteria in your gut can cause you to gain weight and have trouble losing it. So nourishing the good bacteria in your gut by eating tons of fresh organic veggies and adding 1 to 2 tablespoons of fermented vegetables to each meal can definitely make the difference. And of course, we're going to add in here that you want to focus on your gut health before you can expect your gut to work for you in this way, right? So we have to help it remove toxins. We have to help repair it. And that's what our biomedic does so effectively. Now, number 9 is limit your fructose. When you think of sugar, so when we think of sugar, we likely think of white sugar, right? And we know to avoid that table white sugar, but that's not the only thing we need to be careful of. So this is called sucrose. White sugar is sucrose, which is half glucose and half fructose. So unlike glucose, which is readily absorbed into the bloodstream for energy, fructose is primarily metabolized by the liver. So when you eat a diet high in fructose, the liver gets overloaded and has to store any excess fructose that it can't break down as fat in the form of triglycerides. So studies show that overconsumption of fructose can definitely lead to belly and insulin resistance. And we have number 10, which is do HIIT. So high intensity interval training or burst training. Workouts are designed to help you burn fat long after you're finished exercising because they speed up your metabolism and they keep it high for at least 24 hours post-workout. So just 20 minutes of a HIIT workout can have benefits for your weight loss that last 24 or more hours, which is pretty effective. Number 11 is get quality sleep, which we know is so important. Lack of sleep or poor sleep damages your metabolism and elevates cortisol levels, which fuels appetites and increases cravings, particularly for sugar and carbs. So getting enough quality uninterrupted sleep is essential for blood sugar balance and weight loss. And she recommends here going to bed by 10 p.m., sleeping in total darkness, which really helps. And of course, I'm going to add in using our apothecary because apothecary, as we know, helps the body's production of melatonin be consistent and constant, which is so important. That's what regulates our sleep. So number 12 is incorporate stress management. So high levels of the stress hormone cortisol are linked with inflammation, belly fat, and weight gain. And that's so important that we begin to understand. So often we're focused on our food when it comes to weight loss, but we have to be focused on what else is going on in the body that could be contributing to weight gain. And that is inflammation. Inflammation is almost, in my experience, inflammation is almost always at the core of what's going on when people are trying to lose weight or have gained weight and they're not really sure why. And also when you're just trying to lose those last couple of pounds and they just won't come off and you don't understand why because you're doing all the right things, most likely it's an inflammation issue, not so much a food issue. So we have to understand the link there and we have to target the inflammation, which of course, Purium, are all of our amazing superfoods help us do so well. If you perceive your life as stressful, you are more likely to store fat and gain weight. So focus on managing your daily stress by doing one pleasurable mind-body activity each day. So try meditation or visualization, yoga, a massage, a walk. A walk can do wonders for your stress levels. Epsom salt baths, walking outside, breathing exercises, putting your legs up against the wall is actually a really good one. And just find something that works for you, right? So sometimes it's trial and error, but it's so worth trying a few and seeing what works. And number 13, make detox part of your lifestyle, which I love that we're ending this article on this tip. Detox doesn't equal just juice cleanse. Okay, so people who decide that they're going to go on a detox and they just buy a bunch of raw juices, there's so many reasons why that's not effective and why that doesn't work, and so many reasons why people might feel good while they do them, but then and lose some weight. But once that cleanse is done, they're gaining that weight back and they're not feeling very well. And that's because it's not doing enough, right? We're not targeting all of the issues that cause the weight gain in the first place. So we need more. So you can assist your body with daily detoxification by providing it with nutrients it needs for optimal liver function and reducing your toxic exposure. So making detox part of your lifestyle helps your body eliminate toxins in a gentle way and promotes the breakdown of excess fat and weight loss. Swap out your personal care and home cleaning products for toxin-free alternatives. Yes, I love that that's there and it absolutely does make a difference. Drink plenty of filtered water, eat organic produce, or at least the Dirty Dozen list. Buy organic, grass-fed, pastured meat and eggs and wild-caught fish. And yeah, so detoxing is absolutely something that needs to be included. So instead of just looking at, reducing calories or taking away all these foods that people are eating or these yo-yo diets, we know that that's not going to work. We really have to look at how we got to this place in the first place. And that means that we have to detoxify. We just have to. Today, we are exposed to way too much in our food, in our environment. We need to help the body detoxify. And when the body can detoxify, then the body can function optimally and start to let go of some of the stuff it's been holding on to, body fat being one of those. So that was the first article. And then the other one, I just want to really quickly touch on it. Of course, we'll put these in, I can move it over. We'll put these in our chat so that you can take a better look at it. I don't know why my screen does this. One sec. No, no. Okay. Sorry. Something's going on. Not sure I'll be able to share that second one. Let me just try one more time. Sorry, guys. I don't know why I can't get that. Seems like it's frozen. Okay, well, I could just talk about it and we can share the link in the chat. That's okay. So the second article I wanted to bring up here because I thought it was really interesting. It was a study that was done last year in 2023, which talked about the link that some researchers were finding to brain health. Oh, are you pulling it up, Nathan? Oh, yay. Okay, awesome. Thank you. This was a recent study published in Nature's Metabolism found that the brain responds to nutrients differently in people who have obesity, even after meaningful weight loss. So if we just scroll down just a little bit. So this research studied 60 participants over the age of 40. Half had a diagnosis of obesity and half did not. So to understand, if you just want to scroll up just a little, thank you, perfect. To understand how the brain responds to food in these two groups, different solutions containing glucose, lipids, or water alone were directly infused into participants' stomachs on separate days. So brain responses were then measured with functional MRI scans about 30 minutes post-infusion, and researchers also measured hormonal levels in the blood and participant-reported hunger scores. So the results showed that the group of participants without obesity had appropriate activation of reward centers in the brain in response to nutrients. Whereas, we just scroll down just a little bit more. The same areas of the brain were not activated on the scan for participants with obesity. So this finding did not change after repeating the scan 3 months later in participants with obesity who experienced 10% diet-driven weight loss. So experts say this lack of reward response could lead to overeating and make it difficult to change eating habits that can contribute to weight gain. So I just thought that was it was an interesting research that was done. It was an interesting study that suggests perhaps that, there's a brain component to people who are, have a hard time losing that weight. But I'd be interested to see, is that brain component because their taste buds have just come to appreciate and want more unhealthy foods, right? Because they are obese already and they are struggling with that. So, most likely the blood is acidic, and all of these things then contribute to having those cravings and not getting the proper amount of nutrients and then gaining more weight. So while it may be more difficult for someone who is already obese to lose that weight, it's never impossible. So back to you, Neva.
Thank you so much for that, Sherry. There was such great tips shared in the first article and really great information that second article as well. And I always love to just hear all these tips that come from out there in the world, what people are suggesting, right? And how it aligns with what we're recommending here with really just eating real food, getting proper sleep, getting some exercise, doing a cleanser detox once in a while, incorporating these superfoods in your daily life, mindful eating. All of these tips are just so helpful and on point and things that we talk about all the time, but sometimes we need a reminder, right? We need a little nudge in the right direction. Sometimes we forget the things that we already know. And so it's so helpful to have these reminders and be able to say, oh, well, there's a couple things that were slipping off of my to-do list or my daily routine. And how can I reincorporate those things into my daily life? And that's really what we're here to just share and empower you with. And, it's so important as we're embarking on a journey toward healthy weight, just maintaining healthy weight or healthy weight loss. It's not about deprivation. It's about really fueling your body and giving your body the opportunity to really be nourished with the essential nutrients that it craves. A lot of times we're snacking or overeating because the food that we are eating is under it doesn't have enough nutrients in it, right? The soils are depleted, and so the foods are not as nourishing as they may have been 100 years ago when they were grown in regenerative soil, when all food was organic, when they were full of nutrients. Now, so much of our food has been depleted. So much of our food is contaminated with chemicals and pesticides. And so when we're eating it, it's leaving us still feeling hungry. And it's not because we need more food, it's because we need more nutrients. And that's where Purium comes in. That's where we have this beautiful gift that we're able to give ourselves on a daily basis of just giving ourselves proper nutrition. And it really starts with the ultimate lifestyle transformation and giving yourself those super aminos every morning, right? The aminos are so incredible because they help you to burn fat and build muscle. They have so many other benefits, but that's really at the core why we need to take them every single morning when we get up, when we get out of bed. Take your aminos with a glass of water, before you do anything else. That's been my routine for the past 9 years, is just get those aminos in first thing before I take care of anybody else. And that's something that I've done for myself. And then, of course, incorporating whatever superfood shakes that you enjoy throughout the day. And, in the Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation, the Power Shake is our most popular green drink. And if you didn't know this, most Americans are not getting enough fruits and vegetables every day. Something like 90% of Americans don't get enough fruits and vegetables. And it's probably 90% of people, honestly, are not getting enough fruits and vegetables every day because we're so busy. And, unless we're growing a garden full of vegetables, oftentimes we may buy things at the farmer's market or at the grocery store. And by the time we go and cook the rest of the nutrients out, or maybe we even get to use them before they wilt, the nutrients are being depleted over time. And so it's important that we're getting those greens into our body and those fruits into our body on a daily basis, because that is really what helps our metabolism and what helps our body to maintain a healthy weight or to increase our metabolism and create weight loss, healthy weight loss. And so getting these few components in every day is so helpful. And then you add in the tart cherry juice, and the tart cherry juice really has that high antioxidant, high ORAC, really helps to detox. And if you don't know this, toxins are stored in your fat. So by detoxing and getting the toxins out, you'll help the fat to be able to fall off much easier than if you're just trying to do a diet and continue eating the unhealthy foods or limit or just restrict yourself in certain ways. It's really helpful if you're getting the toxins out. And so the apothecary can really help with getting some toxins out. And it also has a naturally occurring melatonin. So it also helps you to get that deep sleep at night, which is when your body is able to rest and contribute to the healthy weight management or weight loss. And so those three components, if you didn't know, is protein, vegetables, and fruit. Those are like what you see on a food pyramid, right? What we talk about all the time is nutrition, protein, fruits, and vegetables. That's what the aminos, power shake, and apothecary are on a daily basis for your body. And it gives you the foundation for what you need. So that way you can go throughout your day and eat the foods that you're going to eat and do the things you're going to do. And just rest assured that you've had the baseline of fruits and vegetables every day and your protein. And then, of course, you add in the Biomedic, which is one of our favorite products that helps to detox glyphosate from your gut. And glyphosate is something that is in most humans. Like most people tested positive for glyphosate. It's something that is in 85 to 90% of our food supply. And so it's really hard to avoid. Even on some organic foods, it can be contaminated within the ingredients of those foods. And so it's really important that we detox this chemical that is stored in our fat and does make it hard for us to lose fat. It makes it hard for our digestion. It causes digestive issues. It can cause all kinds of different health issues, and it causes inflammation in the body. And inflammation is a precursor to most diseases. So it's really important that we detox these environmental toxins out of our body and that we give our body the nutrients it needs on a daily basis. So in addition to that, those are the ground foundational products that we use here at Purium on a daily basis. And it's so important that we incorporate those into our daily life, because that can really give our bodies what it needs on a daily basis to just so that our bodies can do its job. So in addition to that, if weight loss is something that you're working towards, then you can add in the control pre-meal capsules. These are absolutely incredible. You can, I mean, it says it right in the name, pre-meal capsules, right? So the idea is to take them 20 to 30 minutes prior to any meal. Can take them up to 3 times a day. It can dramatically reduce cravings and make you feel fuller faster. It can reduce the impact of simple sugars and carbohydrates. It actually helps you to break those down. So oftentimes, especially if you're going to have a carb heavy or sugar heavy meal, take those control pre-meal capsules, and it actually helps you to metabolize those faster so that they don't absorb into your fat layer, which is incredible. And so this is just an incredible blend um of different herbs that are put together. And so what's in there, the active ingredients is nopal cactus, which is traditionally used by Native Central American healers for its ability to help your body maintain healthy blood glucose levels because it's unique chains of complex carbohydrates. So it may help to occupy the glucose receptor sites and reduce the glycemic impact for simple sugars and carbohydrates. And it can really help you to feel fuller faster when you're eating food. So it can help you to not have to go back for seconds. And of course, like it was mentioned in the article, taking a deep breath, and somebody mentioned in the chat, really giving thanks for where this food came from, for the seeds that were planted, the people that took care of this food and grew it for us, can be really just getting you in the mindful state before eating. And if you've also taken these control pre-meal capsules, it will just enhance that ability for you to not need to go back for seconds and just help you feel fuller faster. The other ingredient in it is the white kidney bean extract, which is included for its ability to integrate simple sugars into complex carbohydrates. So it slows down the conversion into fat, which is what really helps you when you're eating the carby or sugary meals or desserts or things that we're enjoying throughout our day. And then it has green tea extract, which is loaded with potent antioxidants called catechins, including EGCG, a substance that can boost metabolism and reduce cravings. So that's green tea extract is phenomenal for helping you to maintain healthy weight and lose weight as well. And then Garnacia Cambogia, we hear about this all the time. There's lots of different products out there that contain this to help suppress your appetite. And this is in combination with the white American ginseng, helps to increase mental focus, endurance, stamina, and it may really help to reduce calories in your diet. So it can just help you overall. So I love the Control Pre-Meal Capsules as an add-on to the Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation. If somebody's wanting to lose a large amount of weight, then it's really helpful for them to have that on a daily basis so that way they can still eat the foods that they love, but this can really help them to metabolize that fat in a different way. Um, and then Daily Fiber Blend is another really helpful one. If you didn't know, taking the Daily Fiber Blend for, 6 weeks and beyond can really help to increase a hormone called adiponectin, which in turn helps the body turn stored fat into energy. So in addition to providing a dietary soluble fiber that's necessary to keep your bowels functioning properly, it also increases this hormone so that way your body can naturally be burning fat. And so that's something that's really phenomenal. And if that's a goal of yours or somebody that you're helping, then add in the daily fiber blend for all of those additional benefits. And there's so many great products that we have at Purium that we can add on, but those are really the two main ones that I wanted to talk about. The other one that's really helpful is the kamut blend. Kamut is so great for your metabolism as well. So adding in the kamut on a daily basis, I like to just have a kamut shake in the morning. I started making either kamut or barley greens juice. They both have really great chlorophyll content, really can help your metabolism in so many ways. And so I like to do either a barley green or kamut latte in the morning. I do it cold. I don't heat it up. It's in Hawaii. I don't need a warm drink. If you need a warm drink, turn to the mushroom blends. But for something that's cold and refreshing, I just do, sometimes I'll mix the two together even, or I'll have them individually depending on the day and the mood. But I just will have the kamut blend or the barley greens juice or the two together, and I will put them in the little blender. And you know what? It actually froths up just like you would with like a latte that you have in milk. So I pour that into a glass. If you need to sweeten it, you can add a little maple syrup or honey to it. I used to add a little bit of sweetener, but after using it for a few weeks, I started to reduce the sugar and just have it plain with a little bit of organic oat milk to increase the creaminess of it. And it really is delicious and replaces my prior go-to, which was having like a matcha latte in the morning. So I really love doing that. And it's another great way to increase your metabolism, help you to maintain a healthy weight, and help you to have something really delicious and fun to go to besides what we have in the ultimate lifestyle transformation and the added options. So those are some of the recommendations, and I want to share some stories with you today because we have some great guests here that have had some significant weight loss and have used these superfoods to really help increase their vitality over time using these superfoods on a daily basis. And so I want to go ahead and bring Melody back on, who's my dear friend. And she has had incredible benefits with superfoods over the last year. She started last January. And so she just hit her 1 year anniversary. Happy anniversary with Purium, Melody. And share with us a little bit about how was life before you started using Purium? I'd love to know what life was like before, and then we'll go into what products you used and how that really benefited you over time.
Life before Purium. I had gotten well, I was pretty fit before COVID, and then COVID hit, and then I gained the the 10 or 15, 20 COVID pounds, right? From just being not as active. And then I chose to quit smoking, and then I started eating more, and then immediately gained 30 pounds. So I had gotten really big and unhealthy, and it had affected my movement. I couldn't climb the stairs. I couldn't go to a dance class or a workout class anymore because I was just too heavy to move my body. I couldn't even stand and cook effectively for myself. That's how big I had gotten. I have a pretty small frame, and I was pre-diabetic. And my doctor says, Melody, you got to get this weight off. You just have to. And then that's when I reached out to my friend Naiva and said, I need some help. I can't do this on my own. Um, and I was eating an unhealthy diet at optimal times. I go all day without eating, and I just have my sugar and coffee and go, 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 go. And then I crash in the evening, eat, fill up on unhealthy food, and then go to sleep, which is not what I do today. So don't do that. So
Well,
that
thanks for
was like
sharing that.
for Purium.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can continue. How did Purium really change? What was the products you used and how did it really change your lifestyle?
I well, when I reached out to my friend, she says, I suggest you start with the ultimate lifestyle transformation. These four products, and that's the core four, and that's where I started. Um, I have to keep things simple because if I don't, if it gets too complicated, then I'm generally not going to do it. So I just started slowly incorporating the lifestyle and eliminating things that weren't working. Um, lots of cleaning of cupboards, lots of purging of food that was not serving me anymore, and then replacing it with the ULT and doing those things. Now with the ULT, I eat more food than I ever did before. I'm never really hungry, and I'm never really full with how I'm eating now, um, which is amazing. It blows my mind, and um, that's it.
Wonderful. And so over the last year, I know you've had, several doctor's visits. You've been able to, increase your iron and reduce your weight. Do you want to share a little bit about, besides the ULT, I know that you incorporated the control pre-meal capsules to help you before meals and when you go to eat at church on Sunday and things like that. Would you like to share a little bit more and elaborate on how that supported you?
So I started the control meal capsules somewhere in the middle of this last year. And I just started incorporating them on Sundays because that was my biggest meal challenge day is I would go to a potluck at church and want to participate in that, but there was a lot of foods there that I couldn't eat. There on some Sundays they have a vegan diet which I can partake more of, and other Sundays it's not so much what I want to eat. So I just started taking the pre-meal capsules and then taking my green shake with me in the afternoon and having fruit or and salad and a green shake and then take my pre-meal capsules when I would eat the food. And it certainly helped a whole lot. And then I was in a Million Movement call and I heard somebody share that they take them every morning. And so I started doing that. And now I just take two every morning, and it curbs my appetite for a fair amount of time. And then if I'm going, like I just went to dinner with my husband for a birthday dinner, and we actually ate out at a restaurant, which we don't do very often. And I made sure that I took two capsules before that meal. Even though I chose a healthy meal, I know that eating out isn't always the healthiest choice. And asking them if they have anything organic on the menu is almost an absurd question. But I still look and I still ask. So that's how I started incorporating the full meal capsules.
Wonderful. And over the last year, if you don't mind sharing, how I think you've lost about 65 pounds, is that correct?
This morning when I stepped on the scale, I'm down 65.5 pounds. And I have just a little bit more to go. I saw the obesity doctor and she says she wants me to maintain at 140. So I'm coming to the end of my weight loss, and now I have to learn how to maintain that weight loss. So this call is perfect for me. And I'm learning more and more about meal planning and meal management and all of those things as I continue to grow and learn in the Purium lifestyle. Um, my my blood sugar levels have normalized. I brought my A1C from pre-diabetic down to 5.7, which is the normal range. And I just keep doing what my life coach says and what my doctors say. And I try to incorporate the two and marry them to the best of my ability. Sometimes it's a struggle, but most of the time it's not. Um, I tend to listen to my health coach more than my doctor, believe it or not. Um, I try to do what my doctor suggests. Lately, I've started walking a mile a day, taking 3 short walks a day after each meal. And so I loved it when she read the 13 steps this morning. It's like, yay, I'm doing that. And I read somewhere in Ayurvedic medicine that they want you to take 100 steps after each meal. And so I was doing that, but now I've increased that. And my walks are a mile a day, and hopefully that will grow as well.
Absolutely. I love all the significant changes that you've made. You've been able to start ballet again, which I'm so happy for you that you're
Yes,
dancing again. And you've also reduced your medication by half, I think you said, right?
I have. I've gotten rid of my antacids and my heartburn medicine. The only medications that I'm taking now are for my COPD, and I haven't seen my doctor yet. But the last time I had my SATs tested, they were 99%. That's unheard of for me. They were in the low 90s last year, and I was gasping for air, and I'd really get short of breath. And it's amazing. It's an amazing transformation for me.
Absolutely. I'm so happy for you. And the only other thing that I wanted to point out that you had added in is that you also had a lot of heartburn when we first had a conversation a year ago. You were really worried about your heartburn. And so you did add in one thing to your apothecary that made you love the cherry more and it helped you with your heartburn. Will you share about that?
Yes, I would love to share about that. So when I first started doing the ULT, my body was so acidic that the tart cherry was so sour, and I had so much acid reflux. I couldn't drink it without burning, that burning sensation down my esophagus. And so my health coach said, I suggest that you mix it with the aloe digest. And I did that, and I got immediate relief from my acid reflux, and it helped my digestion. And I continue to do that today, and it made the tart cherry sweet enough that I can drink it. And now, since I've been doing it for a whole year, I can just drink the tart cherry. I love it just all by itself. I don't have to add anything to it, and it's sweet. It's amazing to me that I can taste the sweetness in real food now, whereas before, if it didn't have a pile of white sugar on it, I couldn't eat it. It's and now I do no sugar. It's really amazing.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Melody, for sharing your story and for sharing all those tips with us. I know there was so much value shared in what just from your own experience and your own journey. Is there any other things that you want to share before we pass it over to Allison and Jared to share Jared's story?
No, I don't think so. I think I'm good at this time. Thank you, Naiva, so much for having me today.
Absolutely. Thank you, Melody, for sharing your story and for being here with us. Every week, I've seen you on here just absorbing all the knowledge and information that we share, and then calling me afterwards and being like, I need to add these other superfoods into my lifestyle because I heard these stories and, I want to have a similar story. And so over the year, you've added in so many additional superfoods, and I'm just so proud of the progress that you've made. Thank you so much for sharing that with us today. Awesome. So I want to go ahead and pass it over to you, Allison, so that you can share a little bit of the success that you've had within your team, helping to coach people. And also, so Jared can share his incredible transformation story with us as well today.
Thank you so much, Naiva, and thank you so much, Melody, for sharing your story. It's so inspiring. Keep sharing it. There's people who need to hear it and need to see you. So personally, some people look at me and they're like, oh, you didn't like have such a, weight loss story. Well, I actually did. I had gained 60 pounds with my pregnancies, and I was going up and down with my weight. What has incredibly transformed my health with Purium, I mean, so many things, but with my weight is the maintenance. It's so easy to maintain literally my high school body. Like, it is crazy that my body, it returns when we're in a state of homeostasis and we're nourishing our body right and our gut is right. We go to our ideal optimal weight, quite easily, and we're able to balance and stay there. So, I personally, don't have that huge before and after, but Jared did. And there's a lot of people on our team that I just want to shout out who are here that I know have had incredible weight stories, like Azaria, just incredible. I mean, watch her. She's just, shares like she transformed her entire body and so many of us, by the way, it's like, we were already, when Purium came into our life, we were already on that health journey. Some of us had gone plant-based already and seen results, but this is just, it fills in all those missing pieces to help us maintain that. And then we have Samantha Joy on the call. I know had a big, amazing transformation when she started. And Kelly and Georgie, and they're CRP levels, and there are all these other conditions that were revolved around, you know, having that extra weight. They're amazingly regulated. So I want Jared to share though his story, because his was very visible, and it really wowed people, because mine was more mental health when I started, and it was harder to show. But when Jared showed his after 60 days, yeah, we were like, oh, we need to
Thank you so
scream this
much.
from the rooftop.
Yeah, so inspiring, everybody. So I'll show you a picture of what my body was like before and then after Purium, and there was not a huge time difference. It was about 2 months, and you know, I had struggled with dad bod, you know, bloating and just like this distended stomach for years, all through my 20s. And I tried like counting calories and doing diets like keto diet and restrictive stuff that was complicated and hard to follow, and nothing stuck, nothing really worked until Purium came into our lives, because one, it tastes awesome. So I was very happy to drink Power Shake. I could take the aminos and Biomedic. It was easy to follow. And yeah, just the simplicity of the maintenance. And I noticed like very quickly my energy levels changed and I was sleeping better. All these other factors that contribute to weight loss. And, you know, I think people who dramatically lose weight using some kind of restriction, it's not permanent. And it's also really stressful to maintain that, where this increased the quality of my life like a lot. Also, my asthma and my allergies went away too, which, you know, I was able to work out more. I was able to actually push my body harder than ever, because the relationship between gut health and respiratory health, your organ health, like it's so real. And we were just testing on ourselves. So this is the results I got. I know it was a result of taking aminos. The super amino 23 is proven to tighten skin, create lean muscle, which, you know, no matter where you're at, if you're some super athlete fitness star, like you still need that in your life. And then for someone who's just taking the standard American diet, to actually have quality protein coming in like that, that's pre-digested, so it doesn't, there's no toxicity to your kidneys and liver. It's a game changer, truly. And I just like love sharing this because I see a lot of people struggling with weight. Obesity is a huge problem in the US and Canada. And the tools we're given are, you know, it's a complicated mess. It's hard to navigate how to eat every day. But if you have this foundation, if you just have Power Shake nourishment and then the Biomedic to detoxify and absorb nutrition properly, you're on a good start. That's a really amazing foundation. Yeah. And it changes your cravings. That's major, because, you know, I was like a cookie monster before. I could like clear a row of Oreos like in seconds. Now, like it doesn't, I don't even want it. Like you know, I used to be so tempted, and that is really profound, because if it's taking away those cravings, that is a huge advantage over,
Empowering.
yeah, and really looking at quality of calories rather than counting the amount of calories. Like that Weight Watchers stuff is so like dated already. Like now let's look at quality, look at ingredients, look at the vitamins. Does it have like a chemical name next to the vitamin? Then that's not really quality. And then you compare that to Purium, and you're really the proof's in the Purium, you know.
Yeah, and I just want to say, that, you know, we added some extra aminos today. I added a few extra. I took 8 this morning instead of my regular 5. And what a difference it made in my yoga and my tennis, my physical. You know, what's amazing is some people, most people, they don't go to the gym or work out or do physical activity because they don't feel like it, like they don't feel motivated to do it. But when you add those aminos in, the motivation clicks on. Like I feel motivated because I take those aminos. So it's really through addition. When you add these things in, the bad habits start to subtract, and it makes it so easy and fun. Thank you.
Absolutely. I love that. And the aminos are so incredible, like you shared, you know, just increasing a little bit can really help. And for me, you know, I just take them first thing in the morning, and then throughout the day, if I feel like taking them again, then I have some more, anytime I have like a bottle in my car, a bottle in my purse, a bottle on my counter, by my bedside, like I have them all over so that way they're so convenient. I can just have them wherever I am, especially if I'm picking up the kids from school and I'm needing a snack or I'm starting to crave something. And instead of having a bag of chips, I have a bottle of aminos there, and I just have a few aminos with some water, and it helps me to, get that nourishment that I need in that moment until I can get around to having a full meal and having some, or making a shake or whatever it is that I'm going to do next to nourish myself. So I love your story, Jared, and incredible pictures, to prove, the difference, the significant difference in such a short amount of time. Like you said, 60 days, and you were able to reduce a lot of inflammation and burn some fat. And so that's really significant. And then of course, and then maintenance too, like you shared, Allison, it's so incredible how having these superfoods in our body on a daily basis can really help. I wanted to go ahead and pass it over to Sherry. I know you had a story that you wanted to share here as well, and then we'll start moving towards closing out after you're done.
Thank you, Neva. So yes, I had a client who has quickly became a brand partner because she was so happy with her results. And I really had hoped that she'd be able to come on, but she wasn't able to be here today. But I had to share that in just 8 weeks, she lost 7 pounds and 6 inches off her waist. And it was huge for her because she had literally tried everything. Like her and her husband own a physical training company here in Montreal. I mean, they train people on a daily basis. They're fluent in nutrition. They understand that the two need to be together. You can't just train to lose weight. It's like 70% nutrition and 30%, the workouts that you do. They understand, they had that knowledge already. And she was just stuck. Like nothing was working for her. And so she started a core 4, and she could not believe, of course, not just how easily the weight is coming off now, but her energy, is great. She's sleeping well, her digestion's on par, and she had a very serious sugar craving, right? A sweet tooth, essentially. So that was a really big part of it for her. It was very, very hard for her to stay away from those sweet things. And that was, of course, getting in the way of her weight loss goals. And she doesn't have that craving anymore. So now she's about 10 weeks in, and she just doesn't crave sugar like she did before. So she's just really, she's looking for new recipes and new ways to cook. And she's just very, very happy. And of course, it's no surprise again, because, when we're talking about inflammation in the body, inflammation really creates a situation where the body just can't flow properly. It's bogged down by so many toxins. And actually, glyphosate plays a huge role here, because when glyphosate gets into the system, it acts differently than other types of toxins do. The body theoretically, if it's in a balanced or closer to a balanced state, can detoxify a lot of the toxins that we come into contact with or that we ingest in our food or absorb on our skin. But glyphosate is different. It binds differently to the body. It binds to the gut microbiome. And what happens is that it creates such chaos in the body that the body's pathways to communicate with itself are not opened anymore. So every system is it's like a malfunctioning happening. Think of it as like your computer system, right? If there's a bug in one area of it, let's say all of a sudden, you can't open your emails or your pages freeze, or, and it creates this situation where eventually you just can't use your computer. It's kind of the same thing with the body. So it creates a situation where the body cannot effectively burn calories. It cannot effectively get rid of that waste. And that is what's going to happen. Like Nayeva mentioned, the fat stores, right? It's with the toxins. And so we have to address both. We can't just look at this from a calorie perspective, or restrictions in general. Like they don't work. Focus on pouring all the good, all the nourishment into your body, and then watch what your body will do, because it's pretty remarkable. The body can start letting go of what it doesn't need anymore and just start functioning properly, which will, I always tell clients, the weight loss aspect is just going to happen naturally. Like, let's focus on getting you healthy. Let's focus on getting your body optimal. And then you're going to see those pounds come off, because the body will just do it on its own.
Absolutely. It's what Dave talks about all the time, the subtraction by addition, right? You add in the nutrients and the superfoods that that are going to nourish your body, and then the other things will fall to the wayside. You'll no longer have the cravings, like Jared mentioned, for those sweet, crunchy, treats that maybe you used to turn to, and instead you'll just crave that power shake, crave those greens and those healthy options. And it's incredible what it will do if you just make the little switch to adding in the superfoods on a daily basis, how everything else changes. And just to go back to Melody's story, I love that over the last year, if I scroll through our messages, I actually went to the pictures, and it's pictures of, you know, her, not only her body transformed, her kitchen transformed, her home transformed. You know, like there's pictures of her fridge when a year ago versus her fridge, you know, 9, 11, 10 months ago, as she was transitioning foods out, and as I was helping to coach her as to the things that she wanted to start eliminating and how to replace them with healthier options. And so it really is adding in these superfoods and then, you know, figuring out what is working for you versus what is not working for you. And so I appreciate all the shares today. Thank you so much for collaborating and sharing your stories. I love it all. And we could go on and on here because there's so many stories to share. But I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Allison to share our call to action with you today. We'd love to just inspire you to get on this journey with us. And if you're brand new here, then definitely reach out to the person that invited you here today. And we're going to share a little call to action and how you can stay in touch with us.
Thank you so much. Well, when you just said about Melody's share about cleaning out her cupboards, it reminded me of Taz when she came over my first time. Taz introduced me to this amazing lifestyle, and then she came over to my house and she emptied out all our cupboards, and it was the greatest gift ever. So if you want to love someone, you know, it doesn't always get taken with love, but someone who's ready to heal, it gets appreciated with love. So yeah, our call to action is let's get on the 90-day subscription. Let's encourage people. Let's share about let's get on it ourselves, because we can only lead by example. I know Dan has relaunched his 90-day and it's like doing wonders for him right now. You know, anytime we want to see, if we want to help other people get on it, we need to do it ourselves and show by example. So get on the 90-day subscription, invite others to do it with you, set up 10 connect calls this week to support your friends in being supported. We really, you go back.
Yeah.
We really need to have, you know, we want to foster an environment of support and accountability and fun. This is what it is. We all do it together. So I want to share next week, we have an amazing call coming about, so we're talking about weight loss here. Now we're going to talk about gains, how to gain muscle with a clean whole food lifestyle. So building muscle, staying fit on a plant-based lifestyle. We're going to have amazing shares. So get everyone on that call who don't think they can, they can do this lifestyle, because sometimes people think, oh, I don't want to detox, I want to build muscle. And this is how you can, and this is how effective it is. And please review our social media platforms, how we reach back. Okay.
Yeah, so go on like Million
Go
Mom.
on the Million Mom Facebook, join the Million Mom Facebook, subscribe and like the Million Mom YouTube channel and watch those videos. There are so many incredible videos there that you can share with different people that need to hear those topics. And again, reach back out to the person who invited you here. We look forward to seeing you all next week. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a beautiful weekend. We look forward to seeing you next week.